Peace, what's going on? We on Behind the Boards, episode 4 with like my favorite one so far. Like there's so many people in here. Like shout out to this is for the DJ, the art of DJing. You know what I mean? We got Cool V, we got Avee, we got Dooley O, we got Grandwizard Theodore, we got Grandmaster Caz, we got DJ Skizz, we got Rocko, my partner, we got DJ Skribble, and we got Tat Money and my brother DJ Q. Man, this is dope, man. This is really
brothers, what up?
Really dope. What up, Tat, man? Like, yo,
What's up? What's up, Stress?
going on? It was Philadelphia.
What's up, Tat?
Building, man.
What's up, Pimp? What's up?
What up, Tat?
Cool me.
Who's in the house?
What up, Caz?
So, I mean, before we even get into this, I want to ask each one of y'all, like, what inspired y'all to become a DJ first? I like people like wonder, you know what I mean? Like, Cool V, you in the corner, so you know I'm coming at you first.
All right.
Cool V, boy, my motherfucking man.
My uncle, my uncles were professional DJs. Like my uncle DJ Pearl, who just recently passed away, was a DJ, and he was a hot DJ. And my father always kept music in the house, and those were his little brothers. They are like my big brothers, but they're my uncles. And he became a real famous DJ and moving around and doing things in New York, Jersey, and you know the tri-state and down south. Like he did parties everywhere. And that's what inspired me. And from there, I just took it up another notch.
All right. Avee.
I started off as a listener, man. Listening to, Rap Attack, and then going down the dial, going to Red Alert back and forth every Friday, Saturday night. And I just loved what I kept on hearing, man. Then took a chance, bought some tables, and it's kind of worked out ever since, So, I mean, definitely, everybody in this window right here, it's just, to be in this conversation, man, I feel honored, man. So hey,
Dooley O.
Well, I was MCing first, thanks to Grandmaster Caz.
Wow.
Thank you. I was MCing first because of the movie Wild Style, and then I moved out in the Bay, and my boy was like, "Yo, you know a whole bunch, you know all this music, you got records. Why don't you start DJing?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that would make sense." So there it is.
Grandwizard Theodore, man.
Yeah, man. My big brother Mean Gene and Grandmaster Flash, when I seen them with 2 turntables in a mixer, that's what I knew right there. That's what I wanted to do, man. I was hooked, man. I was hooked.
Grandmaster Caz, who do both. What's up?
Well, I used to dance at parties. I was a b-boy at first, and I lived in the right up the block from Cool Herc. And when this first party happened in '73, I was 13. And of course, I didn't attend, I wasn't there. But the vibe in the neighborhood was of, this DJ that was playing music that people danced to in the park. And when I finally seen him in the park, I was like, yo, I don't want to be just one of the people out here dancing, because everybody out here dancing. I want to be the one person that's making everybody dance.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And that was the DJ. And so my mindset changed from dancing to wanting to play the music. And I had records from being a kid. You know what I mean? My older sister had all the funk and soul and jazz records. Most of our early collections came from our parents and aunts and grandmothers' records. And that's where my collection started.
Wow.
All right. DJ Skizz.
I started as a listener, just a hip hop head. And then my good friend in high school, Lazy Boy, was super nasty. We used to watch DMC videos on VHS, and I just had to do it. You know what I'm saying? So eventually I had to get some turntables, and the rest is history.
DJ Skribble, where you at?
I'm right here.
All right.
Mine's kind of a cross between Theodore and Caz, because I seen the local kid by my hood. He was DJing in the park, and the same thing like Caz said, I seen that, and I wanted to be that guy. And it was crazy for me because I was 11 and I met Theo, what was I, 14 or 15 when I met you, and fucking in Bambaataa, and I came up to Bronx River Projects. I was 14 years old, wanted to see what this was, because I used to do graffiti. So I was bombing trains, and I was hitting the 2s, the 5s, the J's, plus b-boying, you know, and stuff like that. And then when I got more into the DJ side of things, I just ran away with it. My father was in a doo-wop group called the Ovations and the Velvetones, so I always came up with music. And it's just that I wanted to conquer and live out every, you know, aspect of the hip-hop culture that I possibly could, which ultimately and very humbly and gratefully I have, from being the Rocksteady crew and Zulu Nation and knowing Caz and Theodore, and, you know, it's just, I've lived out every hip-hop dream that I possibly can, to producing the MTV Raps 30th anniversary. So I still feel like, for me, it's never done for me, and I'm always striving to continue to push forward what I started. And, you know, it's just like, people are like, oh, when are you going to retire? I'm like, when I fall down over my turntables and pass out and die. That's when I retire.
Yeah.
Tat Money.
What up? Stress, long time, man.
Yeah,
all
man,
my brothers in here.
Yeah, man. What got you started to be a DJ, man?
What got me started is similar to like what Caz was saying. Like, my parents used to I used to dance. So me and my cousin, I was like 6, and I would put, like, my dad had all these records. He had all these, everything, Funkadelic, you name it, all that, Commodores, whatever, anything James Brown, we had it all. You know, normal household. So they would have parties at the crib, and I would be the DJ. So I would throw on 45s. I'd get all my little stack of 45s, put them all on the spindle, and then get out there and do my little, and they be drinking, and I didn't know what they was getting on and all that good stuff. And I'm out there doing my moves like James Brown and boom, 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 boom. Then later on, I was like 10 years old, and I was dating this girl.
At 10?
Years old. At
wow.
10 years. I went to her house.
Where were your parents? Where were your parents? They were partying in the house.
Hey, man. She lived
related, Tat.
I want to move to Philly.
She lived there around my cousin's way. So I was at my cousin's house, like 3 blocks from my house. So they was like my brothers. They wasn't even like my cousins. So I'm with them, and I'm down the block at her house, and I knew her whole family, and they loved me. So I come in, they was like, oh, he can come anytime he wants. I'm coming in the garage, and her older brother was in there DJing. So he's in there on BSR turntables, and I walk in, I'm like, well, what are you doing? Playing records? What's this? He said, man, you gonna do this too. And he can't. He said, come over here. The first records I touched was Super Rapping and Super Rhymes. Those are the 2 records that he had on the turntables, and I was going, you know, messing around with it. I was 10. Then they had like DJs around my way. Around 15 or so, dudes started like coming up with their little DJ crews and all that. And I'm in the party again, like you Caz. I'm up on the dude. I'm on his shoulder. Like, he's like, dude, can you back up a little? He's trying to spin. And I'm like, damn, I want to do this. God dang, I want to do this. Then I heard, of course, I heard Melly Mel, which inspires me because the MC and the DJ is married in my mind. When I hear somebody rhyming, I want to find beats. I want to like, yo, I want to keep this nigga rhyming. Come on, kick it. I want to keep that going. It's just like melody to my mind. And then with no pictures and being in Philly, we had to like use our imagination like a book. So I had tapes of Caz and, you know, Fantastic and, you know, Theodore and of course Flash. So Adventures of Grandmaster Flash, forget about it. Yeah. That was like, wow. I listened to that over and over and over, and I was like, I gotta be a DJ. Then, of course, Wild Style. I convinced my cousin to take me down to see Wild Style. I was a shorty, and I heard about DST. And I was just like, wow. That was like, good. That shit is it for me. It was over for me. I was like, yo, and plus I was a B-boy. So I wrote graffiti. I was a breaker, popper, all that. I was in love. I was just a hip hop junkie. So a beatboxer, you name it. I could do all that. So and rap. So hey, you see me getting excited about it.
DJ Q, he's one of the producers that get in our sandwich. What got you start DJing?
I started in the early 90s, dog. My uncle was a DJ. And he hired me on to just help him load up and you know, set wires and speakers up, and that was it, man. You know, and I just started to love from there when I seen people partying, rocking out, and DJ Jazzy Jeff was the one that caught my ear to make me want to start DJing too. So I was just like, fuck, I need to get into it, you know.
What's up? What's up?
I mean, Doc, you want to talk about your DJ? I know you big beats now and shit, like, yo, but
yeah, you know what? What's up, everybody? Sorry I showed up a little late to the party, but yeah, I mean, you know what? I actually started DJing for a completely different reason. I used to like to rap and freestyle and all that, and I thought if I got my hands on some turntables and some records, I'd have more accessibility to instrumentals to rap over.
Wow, that makes sense.
But then it turned into a whole nother thing. All of a sudden, I went from having a few records, had some instrumentals to rap to, you know, me and my boys or whatever, whenever we kick it. And then my brother had somebody who owed him a favor. And so they couldn't pay him in full. So they said, I heard your brother just got some turntables. I got a whole bunch of records. Would you be interested in taking that instead? So, I mean, he had everything from Al Green, Roberta Flack, Delic, which was just mentioned a little while ago. All these records. I mean, I had a whole bunch of records, you know, all the way from early 60s until about maybe everything modern at the time. And this is what, in 2000. And then, so from there, I mean, I started to just, you know, I knew of a few DJs that were blending old school records of what was playing now. And so I was like, yo, that's real dope. And I really fell in love with a lot of soul music that I only scratched the surface with. And it became a whole nother thing. And so I started blending records, and from there that led to looping, from looping led to scratching, and then I just fell in love with just DJing, period. I no longer cared about the instrumental part.
all right. You know, I got a question I want to start this off. I want to hear Grandwizard Theodore, Grandmaster Caz story when they was together back then. Now, I need to hear a story. I need to hear a story before. I need to hear a story. Could you guys go back then and you knew each other back then where the whole thing started?
You know y'all tell a lot of stories, so
yeah.
I'm gonna give you a good story. All right. This is like 1978 club in the Bronx across the street from the Police Athletic League, called the Blue Lagoon. And that was my little spot, my little DJ spot where I had my jams and stuff at. So I did this thing called the Farmer's Ball. Now, this is back in the days when everybody was wearing the farmer jeans, like the whole one-piece jeans, and they was
overalls and joint. Yeah.
So we had a Farmer's Ball. Now, I had heard about this DJ named Theodore that was supposed to be better than Flash or faster than Flash. And I was like, well, I got to get this dude up here. I'm going to get him up here to play. So I've never seen him before. So the day of the event, I'm in the club. I think I was like taking a nap, like on the speaker or something. And he came in with stuff and all that. And he woke me up. And I looked up. And it was Theodore. And I was like, Teddy? He looked at me, he was like, yep. Curtis? See, me and Theodore was friends when we was kids. All right? I lived right down the street from him, and he was my best friend. We used to play every day after school. He used to come over to my house. But I had this dog that was crazy, right? My dog, he used to be bugging, and I used to have to tie him up. He used to break loose and shit like that. So one day we in the house, my dog, he get loose, and he bit Theodore.
Oh, shit.
True story, man. Yo, it's true story. True story.
Theodore was like, yo, I ain't coming to your house no more. I ain't your friend no more. And he left. Right?
True story, man. Yeah.
So I didn't see him again. I moved, you know what I mean? I had different life. Now I'm Casanova Fly. the DJ I invited, Theodore, wound up being Teddy that my dog bit.
Yeah, that's great.
That's,
Theodore,
that's
you
a
got
That's a
one?
true story, man. True story.
Theodore, you got one?
True story.
That was
I got a million stories, man, but I want to tell this story. My brother Mean Gene and Grandmaster Flash, they were a crew together. So I got to see Keith Cowboy every day, man, because
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Keith Cowboy, you know, he hung out in the house a lot and stuff like that. And I got to really, you know what kind of person he was and stuff like that. And just by, you know, hanging around my brother Mean Gene and Grandmaster Flash, man, I learned a lot, man, about hip hop early on, man. I learned about, the B-boys, when it was time for them to make a flyer, they called on the graffiti artists and stuff like that. Flash was a B-boy. My brother Mean Gene was a B-boy. I was a B-boy. Everybody was a B-boy before they really became DJs and stuff like that, you know? And I feel that the elements, man, of hip-hop, you know, whether it be the graffiti artist, the B-boy, the DJ, the MC, you know, we was all born into this, man. We was all born into this. And I think it was inevitable that we all became involved in hip-hop, this art form, you know? And I'm just glad to be a part of something that's bigger than I am. You know, I'm a part of something that basically changed the world, you know? And I'm just so happy to still be here.
You're one of the architects.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that's not here no more, man. I miss AJ, you know, I miss Dial C, you know, from the Crash Crew. I missed Master Don, you know,
Jam Master.
so many B-boys that's gone, man. And I miss all these people, man. I wish that they was here to see how this world is right now, you know? And I'm just glad to still be here, man, you know?
Yeah, Grandwizard, I always want to ask you this question. When you introduced the scratch to show the people after you figured it out and you practiced it and all that, was you like nervous before you was doing that shit, or you just like, fuck it, you just started doing that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
how did they accept your invention?
Like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
he messing up the record.
Well, just like all the graffiti artists and the MCs and the B-boys and the DJs, I grew up in a single parent home, you know? My mother was my mom's and my pop's. I had 4 older brothers, you know, 1 big sister, 1 little sister, you know? My mom, she ruled the house with an iron fist. You know what I'm saying? I went to school for 8, 9, 10 years and still didn't learn anything. There was gang activity everywhere. There was drugs everywhere. The government didn't want to put no more money back into the boroughs and stuff like that. We really didn't have a center to go to. We really didn't have anybody to teach us, you know, about our history and stuff like that. We was learning about fake history in school, and see, music was my way of escaping all that, you know. And when I created the scratch, I was basically just making a cassette tape for my last year of junior high school, you know. Now, I'm sure all the DJs in the room can understand that you can take a needle and put it on the record and actually hear the record playing, you know? You can look at the dark lines in the record and see where the break part is. Whether the break part is in the beginning, it could be in the middle, it could be in the end, you know? DJs were scratching in the earphones. So basically what I did was I put the earphones down, turned on the crossfader, started doing my scratches, and made a rhythm to it and made it my own. That was my contribution to scratching and DJing. And I'm sure that all the other DJs in the room can understand what I'm saying.
Facts.
Yo, respect. I was watching some shit. I mean, you guys, what's up with this this Swiss Beats talking about they're gonna try to get like $1 million for you guys each for doing this situation, trying to do these battles. Is this shit gonna be in effect, or is this
Theodore's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard about you guys supposed to get some money from these guys starting to do this for some way. Is this you guys didn't hear about this?
Oh yeah. Oh, we heard about it.
Yeah,
I heard about it.
Everybody
It's just talk right now.
We got pioneers coming out the woodwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they always talking about hip hop should have a union and all that stuff like that, but hasn't happened yet.
I agree that hip hop should have had a union from the beginning. Hip hop should have had some ownership. It should have been corporatized and monetized by the people that were doing it. You know what I mean? There should be some regulation or some bylaws or, you know, to hip hop. Like any structure that's been here for a long time, for anything that has grown to the proportions that hip hop has grown, okay, it should have the same structure that a business, this conglomerate should have. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there is none. There never was none. So anybody can come and run with hip hop and say hip hop this or hip hop that or whatever, and which helped the hip hop grow and expand, but kind of watered it down as well. And then there's no quality control and nothing like that. So just in the sense of, you know, unionizing it commercially, so recording artists can get paid right. So maybe there's a health plan or something in place, a retirement plan for artists, stuff like that. That's, you know, that's something else.
Yeah.
That's all positive, and I think all of that should happen. All of that should happen. But as far as what Swiss is talking about, you know, Swiss made a important statement that a lot of people missed when he was talking to Joe Buttons, when he was talking to LL, and when he was talking to Fat Joe. That he said, when he was talking to Joe, he said, listen, they should be living like we live.
Yeah, I believe it.
He didn't say let's open up a hospital and give them a plan. And he said they should be living like we live. They should have a house like we got a house. They should have a driveway and grass and shit in front of it. Just, you know, regular shit that cats living in. Not a big ass pool or mansion like you got, but above
money to do what they do.
Y'all deserve that shit. Y'all deserve it.
I like to say something. Right? I'm you know, brother, respectfully, I'm with all of that. And Swiss is noble. Everybody that knows him knows he's a good dude. And he's passionate about what he wants to do. And whoever he wants to help, he should be able to help without nobody saying who he shouldn't help or who he should help. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is,
I agree.
We talking about things that really don't matter in the big scheme of things.
Yeah.
Swiss B said he gonna start a fund and help some people. That's one thing. Let's rock with that. But we could take upon ourselves to do things. Like you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13 DJs up here right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could take upon ourselves to start a DJ union. It ain't that hard. If you're really serious about it. It don't cost a lot of money. Because with anything that you have structure with, you have funding. So you pay your dues amongst yourselves. And you insure everybody that's in it. So when you so if one of us passes away, everybody's insured to the union. You gotta understand, all these big record companies got insurance policies on all these rappers.
Bro, without question.
All right. So why we just don't put insurance policies on ourselves for our betterment of ourselves?
I think
our families.
I think that is the base of the conversation. When you bring up a subject like that, you need somebody who's informed in that way to break it down. Because the idea of a union is fucking great, of course.
Yeah.
You know, it works for the Teamsters, it works for construction, it works for everybody else.
A union means that we have this, and this is the structure. Whoever's with it, cool. Whoever not with it, cool. But when we move and do what we do, that's what we do. It's not exclusive, it's inclusive.
Right.
But you know what?
Right. We move together.
Exactly.
It kind of feels like life insurance. Like we're gonna put up these fees though, because insurance is the biggest ripoff to me. So when you put money into something and you think, okay,
insurance is the greatest investment. See,
Right.
because you insure your car, but you won't insure your ass.
Talk about it.
Yeah, you don't want to get pulled over and shit.
Facts, man. Facts.
Yeah, but guess what? You have to insure your car.
You got to insure your ass.
You supposed
you should insure your
No,
ass.
you have to. You have to.
You don't have to insure your car, but wait till you hit a motherfucker.
If you want to drive it on a city street, it's a regulation that says you have to insure it.
You listen. I got you.
No insurance.
But listen to me. It's all in the way you look at it. Because yes, you have to insure your car, but you really don't, right? Because you can go against the grain, but until you hit somebody, till something goes wrong, we don't have to insure ourselves. But when we fuck up and die, then our families ain't taken care of. Our business interests ain't taken care of. Our things that we stood for ain't taken care of. And then everybody's looking for, where's the money?
Yeah, that was one of the most important things that I felt that I did when I was young. And like now my life insurance pays for itself because I paid so much into it. And I even got policies out for the kids. So like when they turned 21, if they wanted to borrow against it or get against it, they got money for college, they got money. I feel like that was one of the only, not one of the only things, but one of the smartest things that I ever did. And some people say I overinsured myself because it is a little bit costly every year. But let's say right now, if I tried to take $1 million life insurance policy at my age at 51, because a friend of mine just tried to do it, he'd be paying $12,000 a year.
That's right.
When I got my policy when I was, I think, 27, I paid $4,000 a year for it. That's it. It's done. And that's just one policy because I got a few different ones, and I took a term here and there. But my policies, they invest on themselves. And I'm not gonna lie, I've needed money to put my kids in because in certain schools that they had to go to because of the learning, we had to pay for that. It was very expensive, and I was able to borrow against that money and use that because it was my money that I invested. So those life insurance policies, that especially the way they're set up, are not just for you to be dead and get your money. I mean, it is an investment that I felt was very important, and that's. When you're talking about the union and everything else like that, we don't have a 401k. We don't have a retirement plan. You know what I mean? I also took out a disability insurance plan that if anything ever happened to my hand, me, whatever, I'm able to, and shit gets fucked up and I have a heart attack and I can't work. That's kind of where I went with my investments and my money, is to put it back into me, that if anything happened to me, my family would be okay.
Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. You are the example that I'm talking about. You understand. I wasn't privy to that shit when I was 27. I'm running the streets trying to be whatever the fuck I'm trying to be. But think about it. You did the right thing. So now pass that on to the next generation. We'll have a generation coming up way stronger, and their hip hop will be covered because they'll understand insurance. They'll understand union. They'll understand togetherness. They'll understand all the things that we really don't get as a union.
That's right.
That's dope.
Right.
I don't mean to change the subject, but I'm gonna ask Tat Money. He's in the corner. Yo, is Steady Beats doing life?
Yeah, he got what they call natural life in Pennsylvania.
And
So that means
Cool C is still alive, or?
Yeah, they both actually got natural life. So
Okay, I thought one had got death row. Okay.
He did.
Before I forgot.
Cool C had death row, but we got a new governor last 3 years, Tom Wolf, and he deaded the whole execution thing. He said it's inhumane, blah blah blah. So he's good.
Natural life.
They both from being there for ever, and it's been like 24 years.
Have you seen Steady at all lately, or?
I haven't been up there lately because it's like an 8-hour drive, but I've been up there 3 times.
Where is he at? Is he like
8 hours?
He's in an area up there by Penn State, the main campus, Penn State, the college. It's up there by Houtzdale, Pennsylvania.
Oh shit!
So it's a hike. You gotta get up like mad early to get up there. So
yeah.
8 hours.
Yeah, it's an 8-hour drive, like 4 there and 4 back. So it's gonna take up your whole entire
Oh,
day.
okay.
So, but I mean, it's a good look. I mean, when he didn't even know I was coming the last couple of times, I just surprised him, and he was sitting there, and it's crazy, man, because like I saw him in there, and he used to be a fat kid, of course, you know, but now he's small as me, because I mean, you on the block every day. So when I go in there,
Wow.
I'm looking at him through the last door that you got to go through. I mean, I'm sure everybody went through the prisons and all that. and you hear them doors clamming, gaga, gaga, and you like, damn, I hope they don't keep me the fuck up in here. But he can't see me through the glass, and I go through there, and then he's like, damn, I didn't know you was coming. I thought it was a girl, whatever. So me and my man went in there. He was like, yo, I said, anything I can do for you? He was like, yo, do me a favor. Go out to that vending machine and get me like a chicken sandwich out of that vending machine. And I'm like, out of this funky ass machine over here, something I would never eat out of. But he was like, because the food in here sucks. He was like, please, I bought him 2 sandwiches. Boom. And then I started talking to him about that cover, like, you know, back in the day shit, you know, and he was like, dude, he had to like come down from where he was at, because he's still on the block. He thinking about motherfuckers talking about him and, you know, scheming on him and all this kind. I'm just like, yo, it's me. And he's just like, yo, dude, you live out there. I live in here. And I was like, oh shit. Wow. Okay, I get it.
That's
I
heavy.
get it. But he did warm up, because me and him was dumb tight. So he did start warming up, and he came back around. The old him came back. So I was like, all right, I was glad to see. He was like, yo, let's take these pictures real quick. I got some treats for you. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. He had the cameraman all set up. He paid him and everything. But I had some money for him. I found some money for him, and I brought him like a couple $1,000 or whatever. He was like, you don't want none of this? I'm like, nah, it's on you, dog. I can make money. Here, take it.
Wow.
Sound exchange. Sound exchange. That's what I got.
That transition from Steady B to Kwame. Did you go to Kwame because of the Steady B situation? That's why you started becoming Kwame's DJ, or
nah?
Or you just
nah.
both of them?
Nah, what it was for me, basically, I got down with. I used to work in a record store, so like I'm passionate about whatever I do. So again, I was a graffiti writer. I used to walk all the routes, all that, do all the dangerous shit, steal my paint, steal markers, all that dumbass shit, you know, writers do. And I ran with all the dope ass writers in the city. Jump on the train, go to New York, take pictures of the trains. I never rode on the trains in NY, but I mean, I got up there, almost got fucking robbed, all kind of shit. Cause you're a shorty, you know, you ain't from around here. But we just try to find our way. In any event, I figured if I got a job at a record store, I could learn the music industry. So I went down to the store, the biggest store in Philly. It was called Funko Mart. Went down there like twice, bought an ill stack of records. It was like $120, and I had an ill stack both times. The second time I went down there, the boss dude, he saw me. He was like, yo, you know a lot about records, huh? You want a job? I was like, yeah. I was like 17. So he was like, yeah, come back down here this day, woo, 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 woo. And I was DJing. So I was putting my tapes out in the street at the time. So cats was walking around with the boom boxes, listening to my shit, and I'm cutting up fast shit. You know, we was cutting up Ed's Time. That was our shit. So motherfuckers would hear me cutting that. They're like, damn, who the fuck is that? So the name got around, and Steady heard about me from a mutual friend. He's like, oh, that's my dude, Tat. He live up the way, blah, blah, blah. Where you at? Let me go see him. So he came to come see me down at Funko Mart. And I saw him come down. I didn't know shit about the music industry, nothing. So I'm like, all I know is Def Jam. They shit is hot. Profile, they seem to be kind of dope to me. Sugar Hill, I guess. Pop Art Records, which is what Steady was on. I associated them with they on some gang shit. I you know, my shit was like, hey, they on some fuck you type shit. You know what I mean? Even though all of them is like that, but in any event, I didn't want to get down with them. My uncle co-wrote the song "Who Can I Run To" for the Jones Girls, which Escape did it over, and he ran with Philly, you know, the Philly International dudes. So he was with all the McFadden, all them dudes, you know. So he had me in the scene. I actually made a record. My first record was in '85. I made a record with him on WMOT, and he had me scratching on the record. It did well overseas, and yeah, whatever. He was trying to rap because I'm like, oh, rap is the new thing. This whole James Taylor thing, Jimmy, whatever you doing, hip hop, man. This is the new twist. So he started trying to rhyme. Anyway, Steady comes down. We meet up, and that's when we link and do the whole, yo, I wanted to be my DJ thing. I want you to audition. I'm gonna come to your crib, blah blah blah. But his uncle, Lawrence, you probably know, he was on some street shit. So he was on some, I mean, you know, he was on some what they used to call the Black Mafia shit. So that nigga was gangster. Cool, we probably understand. But
oh so well.
I mean, he was on that shit. So, and fucking with him, I knew what it was. I was the oldest one there, and I wasn't from the street, like per se. I ain't no tough guy, you know, all that. But you ain't punking me, and I'm gonna fucking go for mine if we gonna fight. And in the event, I was real heady with mine, and I knew what was what. So it was like, you know what I mean? Yeah, sign right here, you know, you gonna be good, you wow, woo, wow, woo. And that's how he talks. So I'm just like, nigga, I know what it is. I'm gonna act like I don't know, but I know what the fuck is going on. So, all right, you know, I'm gonna have to sign up for a little 2 years or whatever. But once my 2-year contract was up, I was like this. I was like, I ain't saying shit. He ain't, you know, renew nothing. And I seen it come and go. And I was like, woo, I'm a free agent. Because he pulling out rabbit ears out his pocket. You ever seen rabbit ears? When you pull lint out your pocket, you pull your pocket inside out and you pull them all the way out, he would do that and be like, damn, I'm fucked up. Wow. Damn, I'm fucked up. And I'm like, well, we signed a job. How you fucked up? We signed a job. So I started verbalizing this stuff and everybody's around and I'm the only one talking. And I would be like, well, we all in the studio. We here every single day. We here making this music every day. And I know we got a budget. I know there's a budget, whatever it is, 40,000 you got for Steady B or whatever, and the next one is 60, and the next one is 80 or whatever. Then you got 3 times dope signed. So I know you got 80 grand for them for their budget. Then we're supposedly paying for studio time, but he done made a deal with the studio and teaching them how to make records. So we doing studio time for free. We ain't got no payment, but by us, make the records real quick in the crib and hurry up and dump them at the studio. We got the studio time. The money is building up. No, it's building up in your bank is where it was building up. So long story short, we started doing, you know, it's like do this album, then do this album, then do this album. So we working for the advance so you can get paid. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to get the fuck up out. I got a publishing deal through Zomba. Cause we could never go to the label. We couldn't go to the label by ourselves.
It was on.
So I went to the label by myself without Steady. Yeah. And stepped to them and talked to the people up in there and got a publishing deal. And they gave me like 30 grand. Bought a drum machine, bought some equipment, track machine, all that, Tascam 388. the famous shit. Me and Chubb just talk about that.
Who was making Steady B's beats?
Oh, that's me and him. That was me and him. We was a team. Yeah, we was a team. So long story short, basically we saw Mantronics rock the Studio 440 in Louisiana. It was like 10 groups on that show. Million groups. Jazzy Jeff, Heavy D, Eric B. Rakim, Ice-T, Ultramagnetic, us, Mantronics, Salt and Pepper. Was a ton of people. And he comes out on the stage, and you know how DJs, you know how V, you know how we about to sound check. I'm sound checking first, nigga. It's me. I'm up first, nigga. And you trying to get up on the stage. The whole table is up there, but ain't nothing but some DA machines, the DA boxes out there. No turntables, but the boxes and shit was out there. So Curtis walks up and he pulls out this machine out this case and throws it up there. Me and Steady standing. I'm talking to Ice-T.
Oh shit!
And he throws the Studio 440 up there, and it's like 88. So I'm sitting there looking like, what's this motherfucker doing? So ain't no turntables. We waiting because I'm ready to get a little zigga in real fast, but just check shit out. Just Ice on that show too. Wow. Curtis, he walks up there, Salt and Pepper on the stage. They up, everybody all young, fucking around, and we wait. And he like doo. He turned the shit on, popped in these 2 discs, loaded them up, and then hit the play button and walked away. That shit it was like bing, 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 bing. We was all like, get the fuck out of here. What the? Because I never heard that shit looped up before. So that was before Peter Piper. I was just like, yo. And
Wow.
Eddie F was right there. He was looking. Jeff was right there. He was looking. And we were looking like, yo, we buying this fucking drum machine as soon as we get home. And we got home. That shit was $4,500. And as soon as we got there, man.
That was a lot of money then, too.
That's an investment right there.
Hey,
the book was like this
nobody off, but in the battles, when Caz won the battles at the seminar, Mantronic was doing the beats live on the motherfucker.
Oh, for real?
No doubt. No doubt.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy.
That motherfucking Mantronic is a problem.
That motherfucking Philadelphia DJs, so at that time, them Philadelphia DJs was a problem, man.
Oh, yeah. That too.
Cash Money, Jazzy Jeff, all y'all motherfuckers like, yo.
Philly had the DJs, man.
Hey, man,
DJ Miz.
Yeah, remember that shit? Dude,
yo, that was all influenced by y'all dudes, man. I mean, like I said, I heard Caz back in the day. I was walking around with, you walking down the street with your boxing. Yo, that was me. I'm rocking that. And then flashing to the beat, the live version, shoot. We just, and listening to them tapes over. I'm in the 6th grade listening to them tapes. I'm like, how the fuck is he doing that? And I'm hearing about Theodore. I'm hearing Theodore is the ill needle dropper. I'm like, all right, well in Philly we backspin. They needle drop in New York, but again it's like a book because you ain't got no movie, you ain't got nothing to look at, no video, no nothing. So it's all imagination. So I'm hearing this stuff. I'm hearing Adventures of Grandmaster Flash, and I'm like, how the fuck is he? All right, you know what? I'm gonna practice my ass off. I'm gonna be a bedroom DJ. I'm gonna practice my fucking ass off, and we're gonna get nice. And we just started rocking, started going against each other. I mean, y'all was doing the MC battles, we was doing the DJ battles.
Yeah.
So
well, they was doing the DJ battles in New York too. But you know, I'm from Jersey, but everybody still say I'm from New York because of the Juice Crew. But we came up in Philly because you know Pop Art was the label that sparked us. And one thing I'm gonna say about the Philly DJs, I left my fucking turntables and needles home. Fuck it. I'm going. Them motherfuckers got they shit sticking so fucking good. That shit. Listen. I tell
turntables aside, turntables of battle style. I'm like, what the when the first
time I tell it all over the world. That Cash, Tat, Jazzy Jeff. Listen, I'm DJing on the show with them. I'm using and look, Cash used to get mad at me. Look, we laugh about it all the time. Cash get mad. He said, "Damn, B, you'll never bring no fucking needles." I said, "Come on, man, give me the motherfucking headphones too." Shit. Cash, look,
shit.
I love my Philly DJs because listen, you didn't have to do anything. Any other state you go to, you got to work some shit.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Philly, that motherfucking needle is sticking. You could do everything you dreamed about. You can do that shit. You want to hit that shit on the triple? That motherfucking needle ain't going nowhere.
yo, we was battle testing with that. I mean, me and Jeff rolled together. I was a shorty running with Jeff early. I was like 15 years old going to parties with him, and because he was supposed to have been the best dude in the town, he ran with this other crew called the Network Crew. So my MC knew him from school. So he was like, "Yo, you want to do parties? We got to link up with him." So I used to walk to his house, his mother's house, which was like a dumb far walk back in the day. It was like, fuck, we walked like 40 minutes to get to his house in the heat and go DJ in his dirty ass basement. And so I went to parties and stuff with him. I mean, I was at his crib when Fresh Prince came there for the first time. I was like, who the fuck is this dude?
Oh shit.
Jeff was like, he was like, yo, I got this guy. He's coming. He's dope. He's dope. And I was like, he's dope. And I'm thinking dope like Rakim dope. He was like, yo, he's dope. And I seen him come down. I'm like, yo, he's from my old neighborhood. I'm like, I know this dude. I'm like, he's like, I'm over at Jazzy Jeffrey's house. So, but then me and Cash is from the same area. So he lives like literally around the corner from me, like right now, around the corner, like 5 blocks. So we've been tight for like 30 years. So we just, and those two, they're like my older brothers because Cash he's like 3 years older than me. So I went to, he came to my crib on some popping shit, on some breakdancing type shit. So we was like, he came over, he knocked on my door and I'm just like, what's this old dude coming at my, what you want? Like, what the fuck? He's like, yo, I heard, you know, you dancing, da-da-da-da. We just started. I said, that was hip hop. He just came over. I let him in. Like, this nigga could have been a fucking homicidal murderer or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
He came in
Wow.
and we start talking. And next thing, all my stuff is in my bedroom. So my turntables and shit. So I took him upstairs to the bedroom. I'm on the phone with my girl and he jumps on the turntable. He's like, can I get on these? And I'm like, man, go ahead, man,
shit.
whatever. I'm like, whatever, man, go ahead. I'm like, what is you gonna do on that? Get the fuck, go ahead. Fuck, you know how to turn it on? Yeah, go ahead. I'm on the phone with my girl and I'm listening to I'm like, yeah, babe, blah, blah, blah. And he over there, what, and I turn around like, what the fuck are you killing that shit?
We was cutting up It's Time.
Yo, Cool V, I got a question for you. The Biz first album.
Yes.
Were you doing some of them tracks on that shit? Because I always thought Marley Marl was like one of my staples in my shit. You know what I mean? I had to ask you. I just have to ask you. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to, because I love Marley.
Listen to me. Hey, I told you at the beginning of this, I'm talking now.
All right. That's it.
That
Let's go.
is.
I'm not taking any credit away from
because
Marley
the biz dance kind of remind me of that steady beat, the doom doom doom, to get physical and shit. The biz dance kind of reminded me of that shit when I heard.
Well, that's Marley and the Drum Machine, like and you know, we sample. You know what I'm saying? We sample shit. You know, like I said, Marley had he's a sample at the forefront of it. Him, Mantronic,
Guru.
They knew how to do that. We didn't have the equipment.
Mantronic.
I learned to sample from Marley Marl. Let me be clear with that, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Besides that, as we're recording the album, you know, our first album is really just a continuation of an EP. It's not really new records.
It's crazy.
So picking Boogers and Cool V's tribute to Scratching, that's my shit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I put input on a lot of other shit, but those two records I could say are, you know what I mean, me and Biz sketched the shit out before we ever went there. You know what I mean? My DJ record, Marley wasn't even in the studio for most of the session. He came at the end of the session. Because Cool V's tribute to Scratching didn't start off as Cool V's tribute to Scratching. It was Cool V's tribute to Michael Jackson. So I did the Michael Jackson mix. And he did. So as Cool V give you his tribute to Michael Jackson, Cool V, go ahead. And then I said, can I be on stage? That's the first one I did. That's the first Michael Jackson mix. But we couldn't get the clearance. So Warner Brothers said they not paying Epic for that shit. So I had to go back and rework the record, or I don't have a DJ record on the album. So I go back in the studio and use the substitution, which I had the substitution already. Just put the kick and the snare with it, do the bells on top, put the brass construction in there, put the cuts and all of that shit, change the whole shit, put the creative source in there. Marley don't know those records. I did those records live right there in the studio. Andre, the keyboard player, tracked my record. So
wow,
you
learn something new.
Marley came at the end of the session.
I just learned something new.
Yeah, Marley came at the end of the session, and I took the hit off Kane's record, off the Long Live the Kane. So that's when it goes, boom, bang. That's the hit. I took that off of Kane's record, put it on the beginning of my shit. I put it on every 4. And I told Marley, like, because Marley came now. So Marley added the shakers. You hear the shakers on top? Yeah. The same shakers that we got on Set It Off.
Okay, yeah.
All right, that's Marley. The shakers. Everything else is me.
Damn. Make the music with your and
learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Nobody beats the Biz. Is that you scratching on that shit, yo?
That's Marley scratching.
Okay. That's why okay, all right.
But I could have changed it. But the fly like an eagle is me.
Okay, all right. You came with
what I'm saying. So we worked that shit out, and when he did that, Sparky D and him at the studio. I'm not at the studio when he did it. I could go back in and change it, but it was already funky.
That song was crazy. Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying? So that's that. But I got input on other shit. But those 2 records I'm telling you about, that's me.
Wow.
Yo, the Pick and Boogers. Scarface said he took the fucking. He said he took the shit from Marley for the fucking Minds Playing Tricks on Me from the fucking drums and shit. He said it in an interview, so he got it from you. You did the drums on a.
Well, look, me and Biz is in the house because Pick and Boogers was a routine before it was a record.
Yep.
So that's why we made a record.
Look at that.
But we used to do it off of Ashley's Roach clip.
Yeah.
So in the show, bang, boom, boom, bang, boom, 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 bang, bang, boom, boom, bang. So when we get ready to do the record, everybody heard the Ashley's Roach clip. Rakim got that shit already. Fuck it, let's use the motherfucking Graham Central Station. It's the same beat, right?
Yep.
So now, so motherfuckers can't get a loop off on it. I start the cut before the one. Get bang.
Oh shit.
Shit.
That's great.
Ingenious.
Yo, V.
What's up?
V, who did Kane's first record?
Jim Sean in Lafayette Gardens. He did it in his project bedroom. He had the beat done before we ever heard it. We came to his house. Me and Kane was in the projects. We went to Shim Sean's house. Shim Sean said, yo, I got something for you. I'm finished it. So we heard the beat. Kane said, yo, that shit is dope. So but it didn't have the kick and the snare right. So we took the substitution kick and the snare. In his bedroom, he had the little Sensonic drum sampler shit. So I had to hold a record for the kick. So you can see it sped up. It's not really substitution, it's speeded substitution. So when I say, you ready? 1, 2, 3, boom. So, and then Kane, we put the drum and Shim Sean patterned that shit out, but Shim Sean did that beat. That beat was done before we ever took it ever to Marley's house.
He did both? Getting Funky did both of them?
It's the same shit.
Oh, all right, gotcha. Yeah.
You did a lot of you're cool V. You did a lot of Granddaddy IU working in the studio with him, getting his shit done.
All this shit. The first album.
Oh wow, Granddaddy IU. Okay.
IU shit. Now this is the IU's genius. IU had a lot of the ideas before we even got together. His first demo was The You Is Smooth. That's how we heard him. He had that done already. So all I added to that was the boom, 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 and the 808. You see what I'm saying? And we changed it, and KC came in and did the scratches, and the rest is history. But IU is one of the most talented artists I've ever worked with.
IU, that's my brother.
Yeah, he's not the best MC, he's not the best producer, but he's musically, he knows where he want to go. He just don't know how to get there. So I helped him get there on that album, and he'll tell you that.
That's real.
It is.
Let me ask you guys. I want to know, as collections, I know everybody in here collect records and shit. You know what I'm saying? What's your biggest collection time of records you guys each had at one moment and shit? Like,
well, up until Hurricane Sandy, I'd say close to 80, 90,000 records.
Wow.
Because collecting.
That's crazy.
And I lost it all though. I filled up a 30-yard dumpster after Hurricane Sandy with everything. God, my 2-inch masters of the
same shit with Q-Tip. The fire was the water and shit. That shit crazy.
Yeah, I lost all the 2-inch masters from Traffic Jams, the Young Black Teenagers. My Big Pun must be the music from Big Pun, the original masters. I had that Charlie Stetler gave me. I had the Latin Rascals KTU super mixes on the 1/4-inch reels that they used to pay. That 10 after 4 Paco has more from KTU. I had the Latin Rascals and Blade Runners. I had all of that. So like I lost so much shit. It was crazy. And I was able to. I saw another collection this kid offered me right after the hurricane, but it wasn't like the marks weren't the way I marked them. They weren't. You know what I mean? So it's just, I never collected them after that. That's why everything is digitized now, and I got 4 terabytes of music. But yeah, I lost everything in that storm. That took a lot out of me. That took a lot out of me because everything, a lot of the history was in there.
Yo,
Yeah, you remember that.
80,000 records is a fucking lot of records, yo. That shit. That's more than
Because I
fucking
remember
store and
I
shit,
was
you know
I
what
lived
mean?
in
Like that shit, you
I
know what I'm
lived in
saying?
both
Yeah.
worlds too. So I was living
Yeah.
in hip hop and living in underground house music and tech house and
Yeah,
dance
like
music at the
MTV
same
shit,
time.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was collecting both of that, and plus, me, Premier, and Riz used to raid bookstores and just pull, come out with crates of records, be like, how much you want for these? And just before people really knew what that vinyl was so valuable, they'd be like, give me $10. We'd be like, okay. And I mean, we had fucking bombs in there. We would go in, be filthy dirty, me, Premier, and Riz going to these bookstores in Brooklyn and just going to their basements and all dirty and nasty, and we would just pull so much jewels out of there. So we were collecting. Yeah, I never really went to like record shows. I always was like on a hunt to dig. That's just what I love doing it. I love like our social media, like even in house music, like going to 8-Ball Records or Vinyl Mania in the city, or even Fat Beats or even obviously Rock and Soul, God bless them. But like I was always, that was like where you got to meet everybody, hang out. It's like in the house music, like you knew Decadence was getting their new releases on Thursdays and all the white labels. So there was a handful of us that we knew what time to go, and we would get those one-off white labels that there was only like 10 of them, so the only 10 DJs would get them. So I had a lot of obscure shit that I knew either never came out commercially or they were all like test pressings and different things like that. I mean, I had acetates and performance stuff. It was a shame what happened with that. And now a lot of these vinyl parties, and I see a lot of guys playing their 45s, and I'm like, I get all misty-eyed, like I can't do that anymore. I want to do it.
Anybody else?
I feel you on that.
Who else got? What's your record collection? I see Avee got some shit in, and fucking Dooley O got some shit in the background and shit. I got records over there and shit. I see that shit. I see Avee got a sneaker collection up there too.
Hey, everybody got bad habits,
I think every hip hop motherfucker fucks with sneakers too and shit. Every hip hop motherfucker got their sneaker collection. That's real shit, like for real. Like
one of the elements, man. You know what I mean?
See, but I like wearing my sneakers. I never really. I got like 2 pairs of Jordans that I never wore because I love Marvin the Martian. So when they did the Marvin the Martian series, I never wore them. But like I had no idea like sneakers would be as big as they were because I bought sneakers and I would wear them. Like now people buy 2 pairs, collect one, keep it in the box, won't wear it. Like.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
I wear them. I'd rather wear them like once in a while and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like them getting
radically, man.
A whole bunch of them. And you gotta match. They gotta match what you're wearing and shit. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Anything all white just get killed real quick.
Yeah. You gotta go to an inside event when you're wearing white sneakers. You can't be outside and shit.
Get that toothbrush going.
You get 4 wears out of those.
You get one mark on the Air Force One, they're like, I gotta go get a new pair.
Yep. Somebody scuff your shit too. You like, yo, for real, like, yo.
Yeah, but my first record collection, I mean, I started collecting records in '74.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Damn.
By the time 79, 80 came around, you know what I mean? I had a mad decent collection of records, especially break beats and all that, because that's what hip hop was basically built around. The originals, right? Where those break beats came from. And I amassed a nice collection. During the mid 80s, I lost everything.
Wow.
I lost everything. All the Casanova Fly records, all those beats. Me and Theodore used to be like, yo, you got this? I remember when the new Dance to the Drummer beat first came out, Theodore was playing at my spot. He's like, you heard this shit yet? Check this shit out. Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, we used to do shit like that. And, I mean, the 80s just tore a whole lot of, like, just ripped a new asshole out the whole fucking community because of the crack epidemic.
That's right.
When I started getting back into, hip hop, like physically, like let me start getting my shit back. You know what I mean? Turntables first, and a set and all that, and then records, and then I just start going about, collecting records again from everywhere I could find, anywhere I could go, record pools, you know what I mean, buying records, everything. Now I got about like 160 crates, about like 30 record bags, you know what I mean, and 2 trunks full of records in storage. I mean, none of that's in my crib no more. I can't even fit that shit in here no more. And when you go to clubs, no room for no fucking crates. Okay, so
you know that you're gonna get rid of a lot of that bullshit that you might have in there. Sometimes, like, I got this. You know when DJs give you that promotion shit, you're like,
I was a hoarder. Fuck that. I kept everything with a
a lot of
I should have been on that TV show.
I don't want a bunch of shit that I want to, because I'll be like, yo, when you're pulling shit, like you're going like this with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, fuck that shit. Like, yo, right now everybody got their little spot when they get their new shit. They new shits they crate for that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Yeah, you're right about that.
A lot of them,
let me say one thing.
A lot of them boys be frisbees. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's like, of course, out of, let's say, 160 crates, at least 30 of them is frisbees.
Yeah, of course.
Yo, Caz, you know your shit, man. I know you know your shit.
That's real right there.
Let me tell you one thing I learned about them records, though. I always just collected records. I hoarded them too. I'm guilty of that. That's why I'm loving the conversation. But I ran into a man named Paul C. Grandmaster Caz is the reason we know Paul C. We know
Paul C, man, for real. Yeah.
And listen to me. I went to his house, and you want to talk about a motherfucking record collection? Listen, he ain't have a lot of records.
Mikey D told me about that shit. Like,
yes, listen to me. He didn't have a lot of records, not compared to maybe most of us. But everything in that motherfucker was something. And that shit was hot. And it was in good condition in the plastic. He was like, do you know about this? I said, yeah, but my shit ain't clean. You know what I'm saying? And here's a little story right here. Because he traded me 2 mint condition Funk Incorporated albums because he never knew they existed.
Ooh.
And I had, and guess where I got them from? Tat Money.
Funk Incorporated.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Damn, Funk Incorporated.
Right? Because I used to raid Funko Mart on the regular. So anyway, I had extras of the Funk Incorporated album, which is Cool Is Back. People don't, never seen the album.
About to show that shit. Look right there. Look.
Yeah.
That's right.
There you go. Right. So Paul C never knew that shit existed. So he like, B, you got that shit? I said, yeah, I got that shit home. I ain't even open. I got that shit sealed. Ben said,
wow.
Ben said, bring it to the studio tomorrow.
So I can pamper that thing.
So now I know I bought the records to the studio, and me and Paul took a run to his house. That's how I seen his collection. And when we got to the house, he pulled out this motherfucking record called Hercules. Boom ba doom ba doom, boom ba doom, boom ba doom. And he traded me the 2 Funk Incorporated for the Hercules, and because Biz orchestrated that, and that's how we got a thing named Kim record. You know what I mean? We traded the the Funk Incorporated Cool Is Back album for the Hercules bass line.
Wow.
That's
cool.
That's a dope
I learn something new every day.
I'm just giving y'all some jewels because I don't talk much.
Yo, Dooley O, let me get a Steezel.
That was definitely a jewel.
Let me get a Steezel. Dooley O, Steezel's cousin, yo. Rest in peace, Steezel. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Yes, definitely. Rest in peace, Steezel.
It was we was up with Paul C and all the records that was on that Skizz album came from part of my collection. And so we was up in Paul C, and Chris Lowe was the DJ for Skizz, which is my partner, which is my boy. And he happened to bring that crate of heavy joints. And then when he played To The Max, I was like, yo, he can't have that. Skizz can't have that. Nah. So I took the record, I put it behind my back, the 45. And I was just like, and Steve was like, come on, man, come on, cuz. I'm gonna look out. I said, nah, man, this is a hit, man. This is a hit. And then somehow, you know how it is, Cuz gave the record up. Skizz got the hit.
Wow.
So that,
who was making the beats for that Skizz album? Was it Paul C or was it?
Well, it's like this. We didn't have a sample at the time, but we have records. So we came up, that time we came up to Paul C with all the records. And we're saying, you know, put this together, put that together. And you know, we first time meet Paul C. So when we saw him, how he put together the beats, the drums under the to the max, we knew we was in good hands. You know what I'm saying? Then it came, It's My Turn. Then it came, you know, Get Into My Moves and everything else. But we had like Crazy Noise because Chris Lowe used to do the pause tape. So he did Crazy Noise on a pause tape. Damn. And then, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We brought it to the studio and we was like already arranging stuff, but we just ain't had no sample. We couldn't afford one until I got a record up $400. And then after that, you know.
Y'all had
Crazy
Skull
Noise
Snap.
was my shit, boy. Crazy.
Yeah,
Noise.
we had Skull Snap first. I used it on a song called Watch My Moves I did. And then Skizz got the deal. And so now, because we was a group at first when he came on tour from EPMD, but then Virgil Sims didn't like me, so Skizz and Virgil started talking. You know how that go. So Skizz got the deal. I had the Skull Snaps on my record, and Virgil was like, "Yo, let Steve use it." And luckily for me, I was smart to say, "Yo, well, all right, give me $16,000." And Virgil was like, "Hell no, we ain't got $16,000 to give you in '88, right?" So I'm like, so I go back home.
Okay, give me 15.
I go back home. Skizz comes back like in about a week later to the crib. I was like, "Yo, cuz I had to use that beat, man. I had to use that beat." I was like, "What beat?" I said, "The Skull Snaps." I said, "Come on, man." But I was pissed off. But when I heard what he did to it, I was like, "Yo, that's a hit, man. I can't."
That was the first ones to use that, right?
Yeah.
The first one
Wow.
Yeah.
I got the record. Hold on, I got the record right here. Hold on.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo, Theodore,
I ain't know this. This is all new to me.
Oh
Shoot.
shit! Oh shit!
There's a story behind every hit, man.
Hell yeah.
Back.
Wow.
There's a story behind every hit.
It's a crazy story, man. Like with Skizz, man. But he was, you know, he was talented. Like we'll come to the studio with like 600 records. This dude had 2 records to make a hit. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yo, you know that. It's the same. You ever go to like a record store and buy a whole bunch of shit and then grab some shit out the free shit and you get something off that free shit? You're like, yo, damn, like, yo.
Exactly.
This other shit. Yo, shit
Exactly.
crazy. Yo, Skizz, man, what's up, man? I see you and Marco Polo. You guys is really tight. What you do? Marco Polo's a dope ass producer. We interviewed him on the second episode and shit.
No doubt. No doubt.
I see you guys. When you came out with your old Droog and shit, you did the old Droog shit, right? Am I right or wrong?
Yep. Me and my man RTNC.
I thought he was Nas at first. You know what I'm saying? Like
a lot of people did.
Yeah. So that was a dope project, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
appreciate it.
most definitely.
Wow.
Yeah. Yo, Skribble, man, this MTV, how did that whole MTV situation happen, man?
Yo, Skribble, I didn't know you was with young black teenagers. That's one thing I didn't know.
Yeah, that's how I pretty much started. Like,
you was with young black teenagers? That's more than me.
Oh, wow. I did. My first real gig was at Roller Castle in Long Island with Dre, LL, Dougie Fresh, and Public Enemy. But they still weren't even Public Enemy yet. They was still just had the Spectrum City show on Adelphi on BAU, and that's how I met Dre, and then befriended him real good, and then Hank and. You know, I literally graduated high school in '87, and then I was on tour with EPMD, Public Enemy, We Papa Girls, MC Tragedy, like, 4 months after I graduated high school, and then spent 5 years on the road with PE. And that's how I learned the whole music industry. But I started in the teenagers, and then obviously with Dre, going with Dre to film Yo, and then I started doing certain episodes of Yo with Dre and Ed and T Money, and then obviously I did the last episode. I had the honor of DJing for everybody on that last episode of Yo, and then from there, I did, was doing Hot 97, the morning show with Dre and Ed, and then that led me obviously, to keep doing that from Yo MTV Raps. The first show I did Spring Break in '98, and then they asked me to do, they called me up, they're like, we got a show for you. You're gonna be at the Jersey Shore for the whole summer, and you're gonna do this exercise show called The Daily Burn. And I looked at my manager like,
that's hot. I seen that.
I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind right now? The Daily Burn. I'm DJing while people are stretching at 8 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm like, are you trying to kill my career?
The check.
And well, it was the best thing that ever happened, because right after that summer, Flex was originally, true story, Flex was originally supposed to do MTV Jams with Tyrese. And he told MTV that Tyrese wasn't street enough for him. So then they came to me and asked me if I wanted to do it. And that's how I got Jams, which we had the #1 show on, MTV for 4 straight seasons, with Tyrese. And that's pretty much, the rest was history. And then, because of what I was doing on, and, think about it, I convinced Dave Cerolnik, the head of MTV, for the turn of the millennium, to let 3 fucking DJs own 6 minutes of airtime for right before midnight on the biggest watch fucking show in the world at that time. And it was me, JS1, and Slinky, where we did that whole big crazy turntable routine for 6 straight minutes of airtime, and right before the ball dropped for New Year's Eve in '99. So that was my MTV. Yeah, I mean, MTV brought me to the world. I mean,
wow.
That's really what brought me. It's one thing like when you had people rocking traffic jams, or they had, because remember, anybody outside of the States or even anywhere, you had to have a physical fucking copy of something to hear you. There was no, hey, let me press this button and I'm global on SoundCloud. So it was when I got that national and international exposure, and I was doing what I do, and cutting and being this crazy person, and on national TV, nobody ever saw that before like that, and still ride that commercial mainstream line, but still do what I do. And it's really was the blessing that, set me up to still be in this game today.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Avee, how you got with the Ace situation? How that whole thing happened?
Well, I mean, like I started off with, cranking out mixtapes, for Fat Beats. Joe, who was the owner of Fat Beats, kind of like got me into cause, he had a wall full of DJ Clues and all those other guys. And he was like, why don't you do a mixtape with like our kind of, our collection, like underground stuff. So I started cranking out, mixtapes with that stuff, kind of material. And it kind of like, I did it I didn't think it was going to be that serious. And I started to get calls like, let's get 10 more. Let me get 20 more. Let me get 100 more. And then it was like, oh, guys in Japan want some. So it's like, and I was working at Kinko's at the time.
Oh my God, I remember when you worked at Kinko's.
I used to double, before I could afford a telex, I used to bring my double cassette deck to Kinko's with me at work and make dubs in the basement while I was working accounting. So and then after I got enough money, I was like, let me get a telex, because these orders are coming in quicker than I can make them. And then, I invested in the telex, and then my boy Spinbad had the telex where you could like daisy chain them and make more, So basically, the mixtape hustle just got my name in different. I couldn't even imagine I was gonna end up being, and then through that hustle, Master Ace heard some of the, some of the stuff I was doing with Fat Beats and the mixtapes in general. And he approached me on something like, hey, I need a tour DJ, and I was like, me? I mean, like, of all people, I was like, wow, Master Ace, And then, that
you were nasty, but you underestimate yourself, because you were nasty. You still are nasty.
But listen, I'm running with, a circle of people who are savages, you know what I'm saying? So I always figure like I got more work to get done. So, I always had my mindset of like, okay, I can learn more, But yeah, when he approached me, I was like, yeah, definitely, let's do it. And I ended up DJing for Master Ace for like 6 years. We did most of our shows were Europe. So like, going out there being his road DJ, I made sure I met every promoter that he connected with, so I could come out there, as Avee, not just, his road DJ and stuff like that.
I remember I seen you. That shit was dope. I remember when Ace did
the
show, and he pulled that live from New York, the Saturday night shit. That whole Slaughterhouse album was crazy.
Oh my God.
How many of y'all DJs still use this needle and shit?
Oh, hell yeah.
I bought me 2 of them shits. The scratch.
Wow.
I haven't since Phase came out. Since the Phase came out,
it's like,
I don't even bring
it's right behind me. It's right behind me.
Yeah. That's that scratch shit. You ain't got no motherfucking. You ain't got no Serato. You know. How do you guys feel about the Serato?
M44s are in like the what do you call it when you put the stuff away in like the box that you the precious gems box. Yeah. I literally since Phase came out, I haven't even touched the needle. I don't even bring them with me no more. Not that we go anywhere now, but like before all this,
I don't even bring now with Serato.
I don't even bring
it. It ain't gonna skip.
Just bring.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I bring. Not even that. I don't even put them on. I use the Phase joints.
I just hijacked the needles from Biz today. He just came by and said, "Give me some needles, man." And I got 2 more needles.
Man, Avee, get up on knees.
Them joints, Jazzy Jeff.
That's what that's all I use anymore. That's what I said. I don't even bring needles. I use the Phase. I'm
about to get them Jones and shit. You know what I mean? But
I work for you, man.
I just got the Phase today.
400s and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, but
you can't use wax though, right? With Phase.
You can't use regular vinyl. No. No, but you could use it. You could use the vinyl. You could use anything. But you can't use vinyl.
He just said you can use regular vinyl. You can use regular vinyl.
Yeah, you don't need
to play it.
Use anything that's circular.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope, yo. Because it ain't never gonna fucking get old. You know how the fucking needles get after a while and shit.
Yeah. No, you never. And not only that, you don't got to worry about bass reflection coming back and feeding back into the tone arms. You ain't got to worry about. Listen, let's face it. Most clubs nowadays, when we ask for turntables, which I always do. You get to a club and sometimes, unless they're renting it from a backline or whatever, most of the turntables are tone arms broke. This is what pitches are.
You know, they get one. We just get one table, if anything, sometimes.
Yeah.
Auxiliary plug is messed up sometimes.
That won't even be 1200s. It'll be some fucking other shit. The fuck. I mean, not the new shit, but the older techniques, fucking turntables. I'm like, yo, I had to do shit with them shits before. Like, yo. And my mama told me in one moment, if there was no fucking pitch and there was no S curl in my fucking needle, I wasn't fucking with the turntables. You know what I mean? Like, I'll put my pack on.
Shit, I learned to DJ on a belt-driven SLB 100 straight-arm techniques that if you push down too hard, the fucking platter would stop because the rubber band.
Wow.
Listen,
that's crazy.
I started DJing on BSRs.
Yeah, of course, because there was the age of the mud people, so the turntables weren't around like that then.
If you put the shit too far into the record, the arm will go back.
I remember that shit. Oh, you had a party
to go back down.
You had a party and shit, and the record is getting ready to go off. And so you push it over too far, and the record is going off, and everybody's standing.
That's hysterical.
Yo, I tell people all the time, that's why my generation got a better appreciation for music, because we had to listen to the whole fucking album. Okay? You can skip through the album and shit, all right? You try to go to the next record, that needle gonna lift up, go back to the beginning.
That's some real shit right there. That's some real shit right there.
That was my first shit, the MCS. You remember the MCS wood ones and shit? Those are my MCS joints and shit. Like
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Damn.
I had that realistic mix of it.
I moved up, I had the Kenwood turntables. Okay.
Oh, half wood, half plastic.
Fucking wood paneling around them shits. That was my first DJ turntables, and the shit had the fish line weight behind them. It was the weight was hanging from like a little wire.
Yep. I know exactly.
Oh shit! Where?
Oh
yeah, yeah. And you could
Techniques made a set like that too. It was real crazy and it was like a counterweight on the tone arm to make you do it.
Like
Theodore still here?
Huh?
Theodore still here?
Yeah, Theodore's right there. Yeah.
Yo, tell him about that ancient shit we had to work with, man, when we was first doing this shit, man. All right, when your slip mat was a cardboard from a record you cut out a from the
I remember seeing that shit.
And
I remember.
put
the
cover and
transfer
to
that shit around. That was your slip mat.
That's right.
I used to use that plastic shit.
And the pitch control, the pitch control was a round knob. So
was a knob.
It was like,
there you go.
Yeah, it was a round knob. You couldn't go up and down like the techniques today. It was a round knob and shit. So it was like you standing there like you operating on shit, trying to twist the knob. Crazy, man. That shit was crazy.
Word up.
My 1800s right now, right in this room. Round knob.
I used to, you know how you get how back in the days you get the records and they come with that stupid plastic that would hold the record and shit, that plastic, and you can never put it back in. You can never use it to put it back in fast when you're DJing it. So I used to cut that shit and use that shit and spin it back and shit. You know what I mean? Like, yo.
Yeah, well, by the time you probably start playing, that was a little more applicable. Like I said, we used the cardboard for the record, and maybe if the inside sleeve of a record wasn't a whole thing, it had the cutout.
And they wasn't plastic at first; they was paper.
Oh, okay.
It was paper.
Yep.
So you wasn't gonna put that on the record.
Label, so you couldn't use that. You know what I mean? So you had to use the album cover, or later on when they start putting, ceramic or that plastic.
Use the album cover.
Yo, but I never kept that plastic on my shit, and that's how I fucked up a lot of my records, because I used to put them back in there without nothing, and then they get scratched and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
I got a lot of dope records that are fucked up because of that shit. You know what I mean? Biz's first album and shit. Like, Biz's first album is my favorite cold chilling album. That's my favorite album. Like, album. It ain't the favorite. Biz's not my favorite Juice Crew artist. It's my favorite album from Juice Crew and shit. You know what I mean? Like, every song. Pick Your Boogers, Albee Square Mall, Vapors, Make the Music. Nobody Beats the Biz. That whole fucking album was crazy, yo. Like,
it's funny you say that because we made every record separate. We didn't make it as an album. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It was a continuation. So we didn't make an album when we went to the studio to make that. We made two versions of Make the Music before you heard Make the Music. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So that, once we got it tight, that's gone. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's where Marley came in with that drum programming. He knew how to snatch the kicks and the snares and shit. At that time, that was what it was. So, okay, we got that. Now we put this with it. Now we put that. Let's add this. Let's add that. And then we learned how to, like the first 1,200 Marley ever had was mine. So, like later on, we already know what we're doing now.
Let me ask you a question. Why didn't Rakim, knowing that Rakim did the first 2 songs of Marley, why didn't Rakim become a part of the Juice Crew too?
Rakim is really Juice Crew. Like, you got to understand, you looking at it as a separate thing. All of us all those records is recorded in Marley's living room.
Yep.
So we all, Biz and Rakim knew each other before Rakim ever went to Marley's house. So you know what I'm saying? So like all of us is like family, regardless. We never looked at us as separate.
Just imagine if Rakim was on the symphony and fucking like and
but you gotta understand, Rakim
accepted KRS-One and all them motherfuckers was there at the same time. But like, like the Wu-Tang, nothing on them. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta put one thing in there. Because of Eric B, which always had the business mind, Rakim ended up in a better situation. See, we didn't get those better situations because we stuck with the narrative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
We should have stepped off too.
Right.
I'm just being honest. Listen, we can't say we would have been bigger because that start that we all had was definitely something special, because with Magic, see, Magic is a very important part in all of this that nobody ever talks about. He let you know if your record was hot before anybody ever heard it, because if it's not getting hot, it's not getting played.
Red Alert too, though. Red Alert.
Yeah, but I'm talking about for Juice Crew. I'm talking about for Juice Crew. Our records got played before they were records.
That's crazy.
And once you hear world premiere, hey, world premiere. Magic has to prove that.
Magic had to prove.
Is there a reason why Magic Magic didn't when they did a Symphony 2 and fucking Master Ace said Juice Crew, nah, but we still rock together. Was Master Ace originally Juice Crew by Mr. Magic's words? I'm just curious about this. Is right or wrong or
Ace is just as much Juice Crew as anybody else. But
that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
No, but see, nobody's looking at Ace came in a different route than all of us.
What's the different route?
The different route is Ace came in and Ty wasn't his manager. All the Juice Crew is managed by Fly Ty except Ace.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
That's where the separation was.
So was Granddaddy?
That's the only separation.
Granddaddy Ayu's Juice Crew.
He's managed by Fly Ty.
Was the Genius managed by Fly Ty too, or no?
No, but Genius wasn't Juice. Genius was always with he's cold chilling, but Genius was with us, and like we love Genius, and I don't think Cold Chillin' knew how to really market his shit the way it needed to be marketed. You got to understand, Genius came. All of them, IU and all of them came at a time where we were on the out.
Yeah.
We were still making records, but we mentally wasn't there.
Yeah. I was.
We all thinking of how can we hit the door, cause we ain't getting no money. We on tour with people that got more shit than us, and our records is just as hot as theirs on the charts. And we saying, what the fuck is the difference? We ain't mad because they got shit. We mad because we ain't got shit.
Yeah, that's fucking.
Nobody on Cold Chillin' is happy.
Kid Capri wasn't Juice Crew either. I know he was on Cold Chillin'.
Capri as much as Juice Crew as anybody you ever saw.
Diamond Shell, was it Diamond Shell?
Listen to me. Capri, Diamond Shell, Granddaddy IU, Pebbly Pooh, and the Most Crew are Biz Productions. That's not.
You told me this. Yeah.
Yeah, they come through us. So we Juice Crew, right?
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
In a nutshell, yeah.
My brother,
MC Shan.
Hey, Stress, that is why I bounced without a to finish answering your question about going to Kwame. I was out because niggas was trying to get me to sign another contract.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm the one who told 3 Times Dope that niggas was getting robbed.
Oh.
So I was the one.
Dope. I love that.
Yeah, I was like, me and Chuck Nice was doing our 3rd album, the Let the Hustlers Play album. So me and Steady was like tired. We was tired of records at that point because that album you held up, that What's My Name album, we put our all into that. Now that one right there, I was beat. I was tired. They didn't give us a video. They didn't give us no push, but we knew he had money. We knew manager Lawrence got money. So because he bought a new house, pulling out rabbit ears out his pocket.
Stress got the shit, bro.
I got represent. I represent. I love y'all brothers, man. On some real shit, on my heart shit. I mean, I'm taking this pause moment. I love y'all brothers because of shit like this. You know what I mean?
Oh, y'all legends, man.
No, real. This is real talk. I love this culture. Thank you, Caz and Theodore and everybody. I appreciate it. We still doing this. I'm just saying thank you. I love this shit. Y'all made me and all of us.
Hold up, we DJs. See, listen. Caz is both, right?
Yeah, that's why Caz is here. He's a DJ too.
Caz sneaking in on
he's the MC, period. Like, yo,
but we are DJs, and DJs must stick together because we are the lost motherfucking bloodline of hip hop.
Yeah.
I just know a good record and play good records. I wouldn't call myself a DJ. So respect y'all brothers, man.
Yeah, man.
Listen. You play records, you move crowds, you're a DJ.
You're
it's a
DJ.
disc jockey. You
depends
ride
how you do it
to
though.
make the crowd move.
Yeah.
You're a disc jockey. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can put labels and names and titles and this and that.
But a disc jockey and a DJ is 2 different words, right?
What you say?
The disc jockey and the DJ is 2 different.
No, it's not.
Nah, it's the same thing.
It's like an MC and a rapper. A DJ and a disc jockey.
No. It's no different. What you're saying is a radio personality and a disc jockey. Different. Totally different. They're playing records, but they're not playing records. They're playing records from the program director or whatever. But Magic is a radio personality, but he programmed his own show, him and Marley. You know what I'm
the
saying?
program
Like
director.
Marley's credited with that too. But you ain't. I don't care if they didn't personally like you. People talk the BDP shit. They shit still got played on WBLS because if it's hot, it's getting played. Now he might say something smart after, but you gonna get the music because Magic was that way. He done told us some of our shit was whack. He done came to my house and said, "Yo, V, that shit's whack."
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yo,
when he told you it was whack, did you take it personal, or were you like, my game up?
No, because once you learn how to believe in yourself, I don't care what nobody thinks.
Yeah.
Your gift to the world is what you bring from you.
Yeah. Magic may not play it, but somebody else will.
Look, check this out. If I like my shit, I don't give a fuck what you think about it. Whoever you are.
No, me too. Yeah, same shit.
It's true.
That's the difference between making records and a DJ. See, my records are subjective. Okay? You might not like my record, but when I was in the studio, I know why I made it. I know I'm like dissing that motherfucker. Yeah. I'm getting the point across. Because see, what you ain't feeling, somebody in the world will, because I'm touching them. It's more people that you touch, the more bigger you're gonna be.
That energy. Right. You're right.
Now, in the beginning, if Magic would have said that, it would have hurt. But we already had Just a Friend under our belt.
Yeah.
They said that was whack too.
Yo, Caz, I need to ask you this question.
It wasn't for him.
Caz, I gotta ask you this question. Yo, who's like from when you started to now? Who's from that time? Who's your top 5 favorite rappers? I just MCs. Period. I need the Caz. I need the Caz to tell me.
Did we discuss the top 5 things?
We discussed top 5 things. That's his conversation piece.
We just had this
conversation. He couldn't help it.
We just had this conversation.
I gotta ask Caz.
We have to stop that conversation, fam.
Right now, at this moment.
Say 20.
I couldn't say. I didn't say.
People watching right now. Caz is a lyricist. So Caz is a definite lyricist. And I'm not answering.
He's the originator of the lyricism. You
gotta rephrase the question, Stress.
The word play, the whole shit. So what grandkids and sons is he proud of and shit? That's what I'm saying. His top 5.
We gotta find a way to rephrase the question. Like probably like
all right, cool.
Like if they had to do a mini EP, who would be y'all top 5 rappers to do a mini EP with? You know what I'm saying? Who is you putting on a record? 5 songs.
Who your symphony with?
Yeah, right. Symphony. Yep.
Symphony is only 4 people. Symphony is only 4 people.
All right. So who's your other 3 rappers?
There you go.
Who's your other 3?
There you go. That's a question.
Who's Caz doing symphony with right now? It don't matter right now. It matters of your mentality of
that's a great fucking question. Who's your symphony? Who the other 3 MCs that's getting on the record? Now that's a fucking question.
You might say 3 of them on there.
Let's rephrase that question.
You're gonna say one of them. Yeah, you're right. 2 of them on there at least.
Wow.
Right? 2 of them.
If I was going to do a symphony,
yep.
Me,
symphony plus 1.
Kane and Rakim.
Who's the second person you said?
Woo! Me, Melly Mel, Kane, and Rakim.
All right. That's crazy. I interviewed Kane a long time ago, and he said, "Yo," I asked him what was one of his most memorable moments, and he said, "Yo, when Caz took me, we was hanging out one time, and he said some shit to me." But I ain't gonna tell you what he said, but it really fucking inspired the shit out of me, what he told me and shit. I mean, y'all 2 know what that shit was, but that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
No doubt. Kane follows my lineage. He comes right, it's like he's my son, man, in this hip hop shit. You know what I mean? I inspired him. I could see myself all in him. You know what I mean? And that's why I fuck with him.
Word up.
Hell yeah.
Us as DJs can agree. That's the question that we should be asking to MCs or whatever. Yo, you on the record, who are going to be the other 3 people on your symphony?
All right, good. Who's yours?
That, but that was a great way of putting it. That was a great way of putting fuck that top five shit. That top five shit shouldn't exist when it come to us. I love so many rappers for so many different reasons. I'm never gonna pick a top five. I mean, we can have a conversation.
I love Cool G rap, man. Cool G rap is one of my favorite. Period.
We should do top 3 DJs, like Symphony.
Or even how about this one? Who are at least five MCs or DJs that you never got an opportunity to work with, but would love to get the chance? You know what I mean? From then to now.
That's a good question as well.
Great question.
You asking me?
Yeah.
Go ahead, guys. Go ahead, man.
Absolutely.
That I never got to work with?
You never got to work with, but you always was like, yo, I would love to do a record, you know what I mean, with so-and-so.
Wow, I love to do a record with Cool B. All right, because we've been supposed to do that shit since he was doing Biz album, and I was in the fucking studio, and I'm like,
never too late.
We gotta do
never
this.
too late.
Like, yeah, and we've been seeing
I want to hear
that
shit.
And what I'm saying is, you got my number and you got my address, and you know it's simple as walking in, we gonna come out with something. But Biz always take you with him, and y'all go end up doing some other shit.
Exactly. That's what always kept happening.
Never too late. Never too late.
I'd also like to work with Dr. Dre.
Woo!
I think
That would
the
be
fire
crazy.
that he put underneath the DOC's album, that shit was right.
A lot of people like that.
Ever since then,
That would be crazy.
that nigga made beats for me if I ever, you know what I mean? So yeah, Dre would be another.
Have you ever met him?
Yeah. I've been in the studio. I wasn't there for myself. You know what I mean? I was there. I think with me, Raheem, and Busy B was in the studio with him.
Oh shit!
And he was working on something.
Dr. Dre.
But as far as working with a DJ or producer that I never got to work with, I love to do that. You know what I mean? DJs, I mean, I pretty much worked with all the DJs in one way or another, one form or fashion. V see me on the road. I'm DJ for Kumo D.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yeah, I've DJed for fucking Chubby Checker.
Oh shit!
I got to DJ for Caz. I got to DJ for you.
All right, yeah.
Not even too long ago when we were in Vegas when you and Melly got up on stage. I was playing in the back in the back at OTR, and I had KRS-One booked there that night, and Chris wanted me to DJ for him, and then I saw Mel and Caz, and then they went up there and they did the message live.
Wow.
Yeah, that's tough. Right
that was a fucking fun night.
Yeah, that's real dope.
But yes, I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of cats out there. You know what I mean? I haven't had the opportunity to work with, but a lot of people that I have. You know what I mean? And a lot of people you probably don't know or have never heard of. I
have a big story too. Like it was me, Puff, and Mark Pitts and Biggie. Premier didn't even finish Unbelievable yet, and we were doing these Hot 97 promotions, and I was DJing for Big, and we were playing. He was doing Unbelievable over over what was it, Shoot to Kill. We were doing that Unbelievable over that because the record wasn't even finished yet, and we would like go to these Checkers fast food restaurants with the Hot 97. Thing. We were in a station wagon, we pull up, got on the little stage, and performed for the openings of these Checkers fast food restaurants to Hot 97 with Big.
Wow.
So I got to do a lot of cool shit.
That's dope.
But still, who are the people that you would love to work with at this point, whether it be produce a track, shit, even just be a fly on the wall. You know what I mean? Like just be in the studio with somebody.
For me, I was in the studio when Cube made America's Most Wanted every night in Green Street.
Shit, word?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
he just did a
and Belle Biv DeVoe. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's where Green Street was our home base studio with Hank and Keith and Eric Sadler and everything. So I mean, I did that. I mean, I DJ'd for Puff. I DJ'd, the stuff that I've done with Dave Navarro, and then I just did that. Me and Scott Storch finally got together, and we did a whole show together where I'm DJing, he's on the keys. Storch. We did NBA All-Stars, and then we had Coachella lined up, and then it was the first year I was ever gonna do Coachella, and then we got stuck in the house like we're here on Saturday night right now.
Hey, but it's a
We all stuck in the house.
It's a productive Saturday night.
Word.
Good conversation.
Wait, is it Saturday or no? It's Friday. I don't even know what fucking day it is.
Hey, I need to get.
I didn't know what day it was.
Numbers,
Fuck it.
So when we done with this shit, I need to get all y'all numbers because I want to build with all y'all brothers and shit for real. Like, Caz, I got your number. I don't know if it's the same and shit. I got Grandmaster. I got Grandwizard Theodore's number.
Yeah, my number ain't changed in like 20 years, man. So
got the same.
I had the same one for like
blow party with Rock.
20 fucking years too.
You was at a Curtis Blow party at the first time, and I met you when you came to UMass a long time ago, with fucking Peter Guns and Lord Tariq was there and shit a long time ago. I met you there. I seen you somewhere else again and shit. You know what I mean? Every time I see you, at first time I seen you and they didn't tell me like who you was. I'm like, wait, that's Caz from Cold Crush and shit. I'm like, yo, when I interviewed DMC, I asked him, I said, who's your inspiration? And DMC's like, yo, Run DMC ain't nothing but the Cold Crush. We just did what they did, and we did it as ourselves to come boom. And Run DMC was my inspiration. You know what I mean? Like and DMC saluted y'all from the gate from that shit.
Yeah, no doubt. Salute to him, man. He just sent me some gear. You know what I mean? 35th anniversary Run DMC, Adidas jacket. You know what I mean? So shout out to him. Shout out
Rest
to
in peace, Grandmaster J, man. Word, yo.
All right.
Rest in peace.
I'm talking
Listen,
about
I'm
DJs.
about to die, man. So I'm gonna have to leave y'all, brothers.
Yes,
brothers. Getting a little late. Old man got to get his rest. So yo,
we're gonna keep running, yo, brother. I love you. Salute to you, brother. I love you, brother. Yo, I'm gonna hit
all y'all, man.
Word up,
hey,
man.
Thanks y'all for having me. I gotta run
Shout
too.
out to Caz.
Hey, let's do this shit. Maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once a week.
I'm gonna do another DJ segment, so I hope y'all in it with me. I'm gonna continue this shit, but I hope y'all in it with me with the future too. Let's do this shit. Let's do it.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Go.
Peace.
Yeah, it was an honor, man. It was an honor to meet y'all.
Yo, Caz. I need some CDs, man. I need some music.
Hey, Caz, you got my number. Like, whatever you need, like, just I'll come by with my hard drive and just take it, whatever.
Appreciate
load it up.
Yo, Caz is so fucking important in this shit, man. And like people gotta understand when they see him and Theodore, man. When I was doing the situation, when I seen Theodore and I'm looking at him standing, I'm like, these motherfuckers don't actually know who the fuck he is, and not like, yo, I'm like looking at this shit like, and it hurts my heart. You know what I mean? Y'all dudes need to get some type of something off this shit. You know what I mean? Like for real, because y'all paved the way for the. If there's no Grandwizard Theodore, there would be no Jam Master J. There would be no Jazzy Jeff. There would be none of us. You know what I mean? It's cutting with that scratching shit. Cuber or any of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? And if there was no Caz, there'd be no Cool G Rap or Rakim or KRS-One or any of these other dudes. You know what I mean? Like on some real shit. Like
and that's what I was talking about.
I praise y'all dudes
about the education of the kids that don't come up and don't care. Like they need to care and they need to know what goes on because it's something that I keep preaching to the day I die. It's the history and know everything about it and where it came from. And that also will help you be an artist or a producer to understand and how it worked and the techniques that were used and the way it was and really how easy all you new motherfuckers have it. One press of a button, first of all, you had to be dope just to get on. Now you don't, but whatever.
Exactly.
But you know,
for real.
You know, and now with one press of a button, you're global. You're global. One press of a button, boop, you're on the internet. You're in every country in the world if you want. We didn't have that, and I'm glad. And you know, people ask me, yo, if you could live, we'll give you $1 billion to live in any other time period that you can, but you can't grow up in the time period you are in. I'm like, keep your money. I'd rather be broke. Because we had such a history of what we did, and that was what created and what you guys created. And then I started in 1980. So, you know, like it's to watch that and live out all these fantasies and dreams of working with everybody from, I've gotten to DJ with Theodore. I've gotten to DJ obviously with Jeff. I never got to, I don't think I got to DJ with you, Tat, but, you know, I've been able to go around the world and do what I do and work with the people that I only, you know, when the first time I ever went to the Garden to see Run DMC, and then, you know, I'm working on Traffic Jams and I got Run in the studio working with him. Like, it's something that I will never, ever trade for anything in the world. And then on the other side of hip hop, in the dance world, you know, and going to rock, you know, Ultra Music Festival and rock all these things on the house side and get that respect from both sides. I mean, it was every time I ever bump into Caz or, you know, Charlie Chase or Tony Tone, any from Cold Crush, and then Theodore, Bambaataa, like the way they embraced me, you know, in my life, like growing up. I mean, I owe it all to them. That's that.
Yeah,
I say it to this day.
That's the difference between people that are coming up now. They don't understand that homage shit. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, they just fucking like. And I interviewed Lord Finesse a long time ago, and he's like, "We think a motherfucker all of a sudden came out of nowhere and became who they was. They fucking shit like the tree. The shit all branched down to fucking where they are and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when it comes to dopeness. You know what I mean? Like the dopeness part of them. Like I like them because their little something part of them reminds me of this person or that person or that. Even the DJing, like when you make, you know what I mean? I know DJs. A DJ is a whole section. It could be like you could DJ for an artist. You could DJ your own show. You could DJ mixtapes. You could DJ wherever you go. DJ is a whole bunch of things. You know what I mean? You could be a turntablist. It could be whatever it is.
Now you got to be a TV producer so we can live stream, stay relevant.
I'm working on all this shit. That's why I got all your brothers in here.
No.
Brings me.
I want everybody to know that y'all will forever stay relevant. Y'all will forever never not be relevant. You know what I mean?
So how y'all feel about the IG DJing? Like, who's y'all favorite or whatever?
So I mean, I think there's a catch-22 with everything because you know, I'm on the phone with Just Blaze a lot because he's like a super nerd when it comes to all the live streaming stuff. And
I need you to hit me on that, Skribbles. How many Just Blaze for a producer thing? You need to hit me.
I can help you with that. You know, it's the record companies don't know what to do again. You know, and they're shutting a lot of people down when we're just trying to entertain. Nobody's getting paid to live stream, but it's a catch-22 because the artists want to get their money, and we've produced some of these records that we play. So, you know, we see it from both sides. Right. But the next step and the wave that's happening, you know, we're not going back and seeing the inside of a club or an event or a concert minimum to January, like right now with everything that's going on. So, you know,
that's right.
Everybody has to learn, you know, and stay there, take their lane and what they do, and to stay. And I don't care if you got 30 followers or 300,000 followers. If those 30 followers are there to see you, they're gonna come and watch you, and you're playing for them. You know, so you have to find a way around. Obviously, the music, which is some of us are luckier than others because we got the blue check and we're verified, and now there's gonna be a white list, you know, that you could be on so you don't get shut down and whatever. But, you know, with this time that we've been allotted, not by choice, is time where people can sharpen up their skills, go into studio, work a lot, and take the time. So when this shit does open it up, your content is going to be, is ready to go and to stay in the public eye because that's how we all have to live. You know, you got to be on that live streaming shit now as a DJ just to keep going. Otherwise, you're done.
Yeah.
You can't just sit and have a pity party at home and be like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, and believe it or not, people will tune in. You know what I mean? It spreads around.
You've got to just do it. Yeah. Just do it. That's right. That's right.
Word.
You know, come up on the technology so you know how to get it across. So it's because you are creating an experience. Even though you're not in a club, you're still creating experience. You know, I've told some of the other DJs, oh, but I don't want to talk. Listen, now you have to talk. Now you have to engage with your audience. If someone comments, say hi to them. It's not just about what the music you're playing. Yes, they want to hear music. They want to know. And it's what's also the positive of this is we've gotten to play music now because we have a captive audience that we would not get away with playing in most mainstream clubs right now.
Yeah,
you know, like all the shit that we love and we want to play.
For real.
And classics are more classic and more underground and more, not to sit there and educate people, even though you are, but you're now playing, you're not like in Vegas, like, or wherever you go in some of these big mega clubs that I've played in, you know, they sit there and try to tell you what to play. I mean, I don't listen, but it's you have the opportunity now to really draw your audience in and concentrate and focus on you. Because believe it or not, it's like what we're doing right now. I'm seeing Theodore right now on the thing. I'm talking, it's one-on-one. You're not just looking out at a crowd of 1,000 people or whatever you are in a club. You're playing for that one person.
Yeah.
And you actually, you're actually like in the DJ's house. You're like, you know, the DJ's playing, you looking around and seeing the pictures on his wall and shit, seeing what kind of equipment he practice on in the house and stuff like that. The DJ get to talk more, engage the people and stuff
it's
like that.
If you're making records, go on there, make a beat, turn the fucking camera on and go through the process. People will sit there and want to see you do that. It's not, and what you're doing right now with, you know, the interviews and the talking around this round table, people are gonna tune into that.
Yeah, that's what I want. You know what I mean?
Oh, hell yeah.
We got to grab the people all back into this and let people know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if we was like had, you know how like Q-Tip had all the tables, or I mean not Q-Tip, what's the DJ? Qbert had all the tables around. Everybody was doing their shit together and shit. Like, oh shit, he's dope. He's dope. He's dope. He's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, because you know, you already know.
We all on the same playing field right now. So
everybody's equal. Listen, you know, you got guys like, I don't know, who did I see the other day? Even Carl Cox, all right? Let's use on the house side. He's like the techno god. Plays in front of 300,000-400,000 people every time he plays. Yo, last week I watched, because he does this Sunday Classic thing, and he did nothing but, and he came from hip hop too. He plays house, but he did a straight up vinyl, and every Sunday he does something different. And last Sunday he did just straight up 80s hip hop on vinyl. And his whole audience may not have been even knowing that he could play hip hop and get down like that. You know what I mean? So it also shows, right? So you don't have to just go in and play, I'm gonna play hip hop today. Like last Saturday when I did the thing I did on Saturday, I had 30,000 people watching it. I'm playing fucking freestyle. Like straight up freestyle for like an hour and a half. Cynthia Coro, fucking all George Lamont, all
Clubhouse, the Clubhouse freestyle.
Saturday morning and all that shit, huh?
You know, so
that's that breaking shit. You know,
don't be afraid to just play. I mean,
that's that.
Don't be afraid to take that collection you got and use it. Right.
Yo, peace, y'all. Definitely one love to everybody in here, man. It's been a special to be on this table.
Dooley O, man, we gotta get up, man. Dooley, give me your number in the joint. We're gonna get up and hang out, brother, yo, for real. Cause we not far from each other, yo.
Where you at? Where you at?
I feel Connecticut, brother.
You around the corner, man. I got you.
All right,
we good.
All right, y'all. I gotta bounce. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for having me.
All right, I gotta bounce too, man.
Giving the joint too, yo.
Yeah, we gonna book.
Peace out to y'all, man. All right.
Pleasure. All right, brother. I love you, brother, man. I love you.
See it all.
You guys, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Stick around.
Thanks,
Avee, stick around, man. I got questions. Yo, Theodore, stick around. I got questions.
You gotta leave, you know.
I'm man, good. Yo, Skizz, that old Drew shit. Let me know about that shit. I need to know about that shit because I thought, yo, Tat, stick around if you want to stick.
I didn't hear your symphony, Skizz.
Oh shit! I mean, my symphony would probably be as far as producing for people, would probably be like Ghostface.
All right, peace, y'all. I'm out.
All right,
Theodore, I'm gonna hit you up, brother. I love you, brother, man.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all be safe, man.
Peace.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything.
Real quick though.
All right. All right, go ahead, Skizz. Who you said?
Probably like Ghost, Nas, and Jay, I guess.
You got five. You got to pick five. I mean, four.
I got to pick five.
You got to pick four.
You got two more.
Shit.
Unless you rapping.
Avee bounced. Okay.
Oh shit. I'd say maybe Scarface.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Scarface.
Maybe Snoop. I guess Snoop. Be dope.
Tat Money. Grandwizard Theodore.
You know, because I feel like this is the whole
very moment, though. You know.
That's crazy. That's a good lineup.
Yo, Tat, why? Let me ask you one more question before you leave out of here. Why did Cool C diss the Juice Crew? Like that, man.
Oh man, you should have asked. You should have asked me that when V was on
I
there.
just thought about it right now. Why they just use crew and shit? Yeah.
So long story short, I hope I ain't too loud.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I hope I didn't cut you off.
No.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, that was basically again going back to the manager. That was management, man. He was kind of, you know, orchestrating that whole thing. He basically was puppeteering everything. He's like, man, we know he's making records or whatever. And Cats was, you know, it was coming off a little something, but he was like, man, you know, coming from Philly, we really didn't have. We wasn't in NY, you know what I mean? So we wasn't in the thick of things. We didn't have a radio like that. Really, radio was really just kind of getting going or whatever with Lady B. But again, if you didn't have Magic and Red Alert and Chuck Chill Out playing your shit, I mean, you know what I mean? What the fuck? You wasn't in the mix. So it was like, look, we got to come with some shit. So he was like, man, look, he came down the studio in his basement. Me and Steady down there, Cool is down there. And he was like, you know what y'all need to do, man? Y'all need to diss these motherfuckers, man. I was like, what? Like, diss who? He was like, you know, because he had a problem with Marley. Because, you know, because they left.
Didn't Marley do this Get Physical on the fucking Steady B shit?
Marley did like 3
Rocco
records
told me
on
that
one.
shit. I looked at the fucking record. I was like, oh shit, Marley did that shit.
Yeah. He did like 3 records on there. It was a one called Get Stupid on there, Get Physical. There was a couple records on that first album that he did. I did 4 records on there with Steady. So it was a couple that I wasn't there for. So I came in the middle of the album. In any event, right?
What's the dude to do with Eli and the Pee Wee Herman? What's that whole situation?
Yeah, I was basically again the management. He was like, look, you Steady B, right? Bring the beat back, all that. He just had this idea because remember, he did the Showstopper. That was him. That was on his label. So, and the bridge was on his label. The bridge was on Pop Art. A lot of people don't know that. It's Pop Art Records. But when they didn't get paid, it was like, I'm out of here. So that's when he was like, yo, fuck them motherfuckers, man. Fuck them. He was like, you know what? They left. Diss them motherfuckers. Diss them motherfuckers. And we was like, diss who? We got to be out here on these stages. What you talking about? Remember diss who? The Juice Crew? He was like, yeah, diss them motherfuckers. That's how. And so he made the Hilltop Hustlers label so that nobody's name was on it. And then put Cool C on there. And I'm just like, damn, he's out there like a sitting duck. And me and Kane just had this conversation. We was at a concert and me and Kane was talking about this because he was like, yo, man, who's up with that dude, man? What's up with him, man? So he was like, he seemed like a cool guy and all that. And I explained it to him. I was like, dude, man, he absolutely loves Shan. But he said, you love him so much, diss him.
Cool C actually kind of sounded like Shan.
He did.
Instead, he kind of sounded like LL and shit. Like their styles and shit at that time and shit. Like, yo, that's crazy.
That was the cat that they liked. Steady loved LL and Cool C loved Shan.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, he had Take Your Radio, Steady B.
Yeah.
He did Take Your Radio first before I got down with him. That was a project. It was supposed to be by this dude. His name was Jimmy DeJohn. And he was supposed to do the record. It was his idea. And he was supposed to do it with our old manager, Steady's uncle. And the nigga never showed up to the studio. So he was like, fuck it. You want to do it? He asked Steady, and Steady was like, yeah, I'll do it. So he did the record, and that's how he got popular.
Oh, shit.
So dissing was his thing. That was kind of like his little niche thing.
Yeah, but them Cool C and Steady B was some real motherfuckers. And Robert Bank, they're some real motherfuckers. Like they really going, like
yeah, real crazy motherfuckers.
Really bad.
I mean,
actually, got to link up with Black Thought and shit coming out there.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, we was in West and he was in South Philly, so of course they looked up to us. So at that time when they were coming, I was doing mixtapes. So I was doing the mix CD tape thing all over, like the brother was talking about the whole telex thing. I think Avee was talking about that. I mean, my telex is right in the other room. Actually, I got CD burners. I was killing that shit. So that I was putting the root shit on my CDs and on my mixtapes. So they would, you know, I was bigging them up because they was kind of on the, you know, on the come up, and they invited me to be in their Clones video. So me and Cash and a couple other people was in the video. So that was kind of dope.
Yeah.
So I got a film actually that I'm about to release that I'm working on right now.
Let me know. I still got our
Yeah.
footage when I interviewed you on the radio, and I appreciate you did that shit. That's why when you remember me, Tat's like, yeah, brother. Yeah, I love you, brother, man, for that shit, man.
Oh, no doubt, man. Right back at you, cousin. Matter of fact, I got your voicemail is still on my old answering machine down in the basement. It's crazy.
Oh shit, damn.
I just heard that.
Motherfucker. I hope y'all can hold if I can come right back. Give me a second and shit. I'm right back from right
here. Holding on the voicemail.
I've been holding for a minute. Yo, I'm gonna end the recording. We can stay on if not, yo. And I appreciate you came in, Tat, man. Yo, stay with me. I'm gonna hang in the recording and shit. But hold on.
Okay.
Oh, hold up.